about the waves? How did you know what the waves
Well,
meant?
I was walking down Main Street one day from lunch at the bookstore and had this great big sign in the post office yard, join the waves and see the world, and had a picture of a wave in her uniform, and I thought, oh my goodness, how wonderful that would be. And I thought, oh, I could never do that. And, I just thought as a small town girl, I'd have to have a lot more experience in the world. But it says, come on in and find out about it, and you can enlist. And if you're under 21, you have to have your parents' permission. So I thought, oh boy, they'll never give me permission to go. So I went in anyway and found out all about it and got the papers, and finally I said, I took it home to my aunt where I'd been staying, and she said, well, I think it's a wonderful idea. And I said, well, how am I going to ask my mother and dad? And she said, well, just tell them that you think it's a good opportunity for you, and maybe you find your way in life, So when they came down for a weekend, and I sprung it on my father, and my grandfather had died a week before this. And so they had come down to the funeral for this viewing. And so while they were in the funeral home, I went up to my dad and I said, Dad, I joined the waves. He said, you did what? And I told him I joined the waves. I said, and you have to sign for me because I'm not 21 yet. Oh, I'm not going to sign that, he said. And I said, oh, you have to. I said, what else can I do? I said, it's a wonderful time for me. He said, well, I guess there's not much here for you. He said, if you're sure you want to do that, well, I'll sign it. So he signed the papers for me.
Real stories, real voices. Subscribe to Gold Reels, American Archives, and be part of the legacy.